everyone, I'm Mackayla. Welcome to the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. We're going to jump right in with the two hardest questions of all. Who are you and what have you been up to recently?
Well, hi, I'm Folklaur. I am a singer-songwriter from Philadelphia, and my latest project is an EP that I released this past September. It's called Leaves and Letters. It's my first album ever. So that's kind of the core of it. I'm very like focused on storytelling and the music of things and the connection and the community that music builds.
That's exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
How's it feel? It's been a little while since the EP came out.
Yeah, it feels really great. It had a lot of excitement right around when it came out. It did really well considering I'm just like a indie artist with like no following yet. Just trying to like get out there and do what I can. So now that it's been a bit, it's slowing down, but it was really exciting right at first.
That's awesome. I'm glad it was well received.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything, so that was really thrilling.
So now that you've put that out, are you working on any more projects or anything?
Yeah, I'm jumping right back in. I'm still writing, starting to record again, in like the demo phase of potentially a next project.
Ooh.
Yeah, very exciting.
What does a songwriting session look like for you?
So the first album came about very naturally. I would kind of think something and jot it down or sing it into my memos app or I don't know, just try and like it was just kind of flowing to me, a
Hmm.
lot of thoughts and feelings. And the second one I'm being a little bit more intentional about, but still trying to maintain that same um natural rhythm. Towards the end, like a lot of times I'll have one piece of a song and then another, then I'm like, oh, I could put these together. And that might be like the verse and the chorus,
Hmm.
or that's how the bridge comes about. And those thoughts like maybe weren't originally connected, but connecting them in a song makes them mean something different and put something else together and add a different layer. So that's my process for the most part, is kind of living my life, feeling what I'm feeling, acknowledging it, and then trying to tell stories around it.
Hmm. I'm glad that you have music as an outlet for your life.
Yeah, yeah. I think most people who like music really depend on it, and
Hmm.
being able to create it is kind of like a form of therapy or something. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it's glad that it exists for people who need it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
So, for somebody who hasn't listened to your first album, how would you describe it for them?
Leaves and Letters is so I was a creative writing and English major in college, so I really like telling stories. So I've kind of taken some of my own thoughts or experiences and turned them into a narrative. So the whole album is kind of it's a indie pop storytelling album that's very
Hmm.
autumnal in theme, Leaves. A lot of the songs are like, using autumn metaphors about changing and leaves falling and things like that to tell the story of, in my mind, there's kind of two main characters throughout the album that have like maybe a different experience of the same scenario or the same situation, and
Hmm.
they're trying to figure out how they're feeling and trying to get down to what's real. And I think the core theme of Leaves and Letters is that people change and they're not necessarily perfect. But what you go through is true kind of no matter what side you're on, or if you're handling it as well as possible.
I think that's a very good message.
Yeah.
We all want to be perfect, but
We do. And I was such a perfectionist growing up. That was a big challenge of mine. I really struggled with like making a mess or not being, perfect.
Mhm.
And so as an adult, I'm trying to give myself the space to exist exactly as I am.
Mhm.
Always trying to be better, treat people
Yeah,
as well as I can and improve, but the fact that I am a person is enough.
it's hard. That's hard at times,
So hard.
especially as a kid, because you think like adults are perfect, and then you grow up and you're like, oh, no one actually knows what they're doing.
Right. Yeah, like where's the playbook that you expected? What is the rules that everyone else is following? Yeah. You just have to make it up as you go.
Right. It's such an interesting journey.
Yeah. 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 It's been fun.
If you could go back and give yourself any advice when you were first starting down this path, what would you say?
Um, I feel like the first album went as well as I could have asked for it.
Hmm.
I got into a little time crunch with production midway through because I didn't start it with a plan or a timeline. So I'm actually taking that advice. I've put some dates and time frames out for this next one. We'll see if I accomplish any of it, but you know, um, yeah, so I'm starting a little earlier. I'm giving myself a little extra space, but I've
Hmm.
also doubled the amount of work that I want to do. So I might be crunching myself exactly the same, but I think planning um would be the advice that I would try and give myself,
Hmm.
setting things up ahead of time. I got really behind on everything. Like I was releasing stuff like the day it was finished, as opposed to like having things ready to go for content on social media and stuff like that. I'm terrible at social media. I'm so resistant to making videos and getting out there. So that's kind of my big challenge to overcome. I don't know if that's advice I'd give myself, but the advice would be plan and maybe be less resistant to self-promotion.
Yeah, how do you kind of get that self-promotion out there when it's such a big social media focused world?
It's hard. It's hard because um and one of the things I try and address in my album, I don't know if I did this literally, but it's consciously on my mind the whole time. I think one of the challenges that people have inherently is that we are existing in our own minds and our own bodies. So everything we do and say seems so normal and boring.
Hmm.
But when someone else experiences our stories, it matters to them and they either feel seen or they've never heard something like that before. And something that I'm like, oh, I can't listen to this song again, or I'm so bored of, you know, this thought, or this isn't that interesting. Like it really, that's where you connect with people.
Hmm.
It's the things that you think are normal. So I have to get over the fact that I'm not boring other people by like posting about the same things because it doesn't come up on their feed every time and they're not
Hmm.
necessarily sitting there like waiting for me. So I think a little more patience and a bigger picture understanding helps with that. I say that having not overcome it, but I'm trying to overcome it with that mentality.
It's something that's easier said than done.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how people post every day.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just this ego resilience, I suppose.
Hmm.
I don't have that.
I
I'm very
just, I don't find it fun.
No, it's not. It's so much work. And then you look at yourself too much and you get self-conscious,
Hmm.
which is really hard in this day and age because you're like, oh, I didn't know my face looks like that, or I didn't know like I made that motion every time I talk or something, or
Yeah, or why didn't I do this instead of that? Like,
yeah, yeah. And it takes like a million takes to get something that you think is acceptable. And then I go back and watch them like a month later and I'm like, I can't tell the difference.
that's, yeah, it's still not acceptable, but oh
It's
well.
still not acceptable, but also I don't know what I was criticizing myself about, so hopefully I forget
Hmm. And
whatever
then
my
you put it out there and everyone's like, this is amazing. You're like, oh,
Right. You're like, yeah, I love this more. And I'm like, oh my God, I just put something out. Um,
it's just a lot of time. It's very time
yeah,
consuming.
it is. It is. And I don't have a lot of time. I have to be really intentional with my time because I have a full-time job outside of music. So this is what I do to keep myself happy. So I
Hmm.
also like to prioritize things that make me happy. So if, the album doing well would make me happy, then the work ahead of time is worth it.
Yeah.
But if the work makes me unhappy, if posting online isn't something that I can do, then I have to find that balance.
Hmm.
To try to take care of myself where I can.
Yeah. How do you balance work life music?
So the first album just kind of happened because I couldn't hold it back.
Hmm.
I've been a singer my whole life. I've been a writer my whole life. And during the pandemic, I taught myself guitar. So I started being able to combine writing and singing through that new
Hmm.
technique that I had, that new skill that I had. So it was something that I did because I was bored when the world was shut down. And then it just became like after work, I would come home and there'd be like things I had to do, but I didn't like find joy in them. So I was like, well, maybe if I give myself a little joy,
Hmm.
I'll be able to just carry on instead of feeling like I'm kind of wasting my life at a computer all day.
I think that's a very common feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to find joy in some part of your life outside of work or at work.
Right. But one of those has to be bringing you
Hmm.
joy. Both would be great.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, you do have to do regular life stuff outside of that.
Yeah, so much laundry
Hmm.
in the real world.
And having to eat, like sleep.
It takes so much time to eat and think about it. Sleeping, come on, 8 hours? I don't have eight
We
hours.
sleep like what, half of our life, they say?
Crazy.
If we didn't have to sleep, imagine what we could accomplish.
I would be so productive. Apparently
Okay.
not. Apparently sleep restores you.
Yeah. It seems so inconvenient though.
It's so inconvenient. Yeah.
Like, how did we not like adapt to not sleep?
That would be that would be so nice. If we
Hmm.
could or even if it's just a couple hours, like 4 hours.
Yeah, but that's just not good for you.
No, that's super not good for you.
I don't know how some people do that though.
I think some people are kind of programmed for that.
Hmm.
I think it's like men specifically, like biologically, they just have a lot less going on so they can sleep less, I think.
There's a
And
lot
when you
in
get
that.
older,
Yeah.
you don't need as much sleep apparently.
Hmm.
I don't know. I haven't
Well,
gotten there.
old people all go to sleep early and wake up early, so I feel like they still get
The same amount of
the
sleep.
same amount, just different times.
Yeah, they just act like they're all like great. They're like, I was up at 4 a.m. It's like, that sounds like a nightmare.
But then you went to bed at like 6.
Yeah. Yeah, that's half your
So
life.
it all evens out.
So true.
What advice would you give to somebody who is struggling with that work-life balance?
Uh, I think the advice that I would give is that you can do shorter amounts of the things that make you joy, bring you joy than you think you need to. Like,
Mhm.
I think people don't do things that they like because it takes too much energy and they're tired. So it's like you don't have to go home and play guitar for 2 hours. You can go home and play guitar for 20 minutes and it'll reset you
Mhm.
as opposed to it becoming hard and work. But a little bit is better than none. So you don't have to go and take like classes after work. You don't have to like burn yourself out. But if you do a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of stuff that brings you positivity, it becomes like an endurance thing. You get better and better at it, and it becomes part of your day. So
That's great advice.
yeah, thanks.
I think that that's a good point. Sometimes people forget. They're like, "Oh, I should do that for 2 hours," but you don't need to.
You don't have to punish yourself with the thing that makes you happy.
Right. That I think that's a hard line for people to draw.
Yeah, and that's that perfectionist thing as well, where we're like, but I have to be improving or I have to be getting something out of it. No, you don't. No, you
You're
don't.
getting joy.
You're getting joy.
That is getting something out of it.
There you go. Yeah.
So before I ask the last question today, was there anything else that you wanted to mention or talk about?
I think just keep an eye out for some of my upcoming projects. Like I'm really excited. I think I've learned a lot about how um this whole music thing works, and I'm really excited to share it and keep sharing it, keep connecting with people.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, thanks.
So our last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
Ooh. Um, I'm a big like put on a playlist from a streaming like service that's based on a vibe instead of something that I know because I like to discover artists that way. So I'll like type in like cooking at home when it's cold out or something and they'll like put something together. So my soundtrack is vibes, I
I
suppose.
like that. Do
Yeah.
you have a certain vibe that you tend to gravitate towards?
I'm always putting something like indie pop or soft or kind of nature driven in like that's what I'm always looking for. Like I want to feel like I'm camping all the time.
Do you enjoy camping?
No, no, I don't. I've gone to some of those like little glamping things and I like that, but roughing it in the outdoors is not like literally for me, but the feeling of sitting outside by a campfire with some mountains in front of me is for me.
Okay. Yeah, those are two very different things, I think.
I don't want to actually suffer. I just want vibes.
Yeah, no, I understand. So for all of our listeners who want to stay updated on you, hear your new projects, where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on social media if I ever update it. Hopefully I will. On Instagram, I'm Laura Fagan, which is Laura Feigin. And on TikTok, I'm Folklore. You can also find me as Folklore on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, wherever you're streaming from. And my album Leaves and Letters is out now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Yeah, thanks. It was great meeting you.
Of course, have a nice rest of your day.
You too. Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.